Mack Holland is with us now on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Toby. How you doing today?
I'm doing great as well, I think. Now, you've got a brand new song coming out on March the 17th called I Want You Back.
Yes,
What's
sir.
the basic idea behind that song, first of all?
Well, it's about a man that basically did probably had made some bad decisions with his past relationship, and
Mm,
he's starting to realize that he lost a good thing, and now he's trying to get her back, basically.
yeah. How long did it take you to come up with the idea for it and have it all written down and ready to record?
Oh, well, I wrote "I Want You Back" in probably about 4 hours. Once I get a topic, it don't take too long, but it took me about 4 hours
Yeah.
to actually write the song.
And then to go on recording that, was that another quick process to get it all finished?
Oh recording takes a little time. Once I get with my music producer and I show him my ideal and my melody and my lyrics, and we get the right instrumentation down, it probably takes maybe the most, maybe 3 months
Mm.
at the most. I've seen it earlier, like 2 months, but 2 to 3 months, when you finished everything, your vocals, the instrumentation, and get it to where you want it to be. It usually takes
Yeah.
an average from 2 to 3 months.
Yeah. And you mentioned just there about getting the producer involved and everything. What's that experience like going in and recording it?
Oh, it's fun, really. I mean, once you see something you wrote comes to life, it's actually very um exhilarating. I mean,
Yeah.
to know that you wrote this and you put the melody to it, and now it comes to life and ready for radio and ready for everybody else to listen to. It's very exhilarating and just fun. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just fun. That's why I think I told you in my last interview that I do this basically as a hobby. It's very fun and very heartwarming.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there any particular thing in your life that's inspired this song, or is it just you felt like writing a song like it?
Well, like I told you in my last interview, I try to think of topics that most people have experienced in life.
Hmm.
And that is one that, I mean, sometimes we have regrets, maybe even just friendships, things maybe you should have handled differently. And I felt like this was a song, "I Want You Back," is something that a lot of men and women can relate to. So that's what I try to do when I write my songs. I try to write songs that everybody can relate to and put themselves in that song when they
Yeah.
listen to it.
And does it have a particular genre associated with it?
No, I hope
Hmm.
all genres can relate to that song. I really do.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
hope you get it. I hope you get a chance to listen to it. You'll find that it really has a melody that every genre can relate to. It's not very fast. It's not very slow.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to sharing it with the world and you as well. And I hope you like it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good idea to not stick to just the one genre because then
Oh
you
no,
can have
no,
loads of people listening to it and they're not going to be
exactly,
put off if it's not a genre that they like.
exactly. And in fact, the first five songs that I wrote, Toby, I had them recorded by musicians in Nashville.
Oh,
Some studio musicians in Nashville did my first five songs. And "Your Love is a Thrill," "I Ain't Got No Money, Honey,"
yeah.
"Love Me Now," and um, um, "Your Love is a Thrill," and "All in My Mind" was done by Nashville musicians.
Wow.
And you can hear the Nashville taste when you listen to them.
Yeah, for sure.
But I actually started recording my songs with my vocals when I wrote "Are You Ready for Your Blessing?" And so I went on. I started recording "Are You Ready for Your Blessing?" I did "This Christmas" is also my vocals, and now I have recorded "I Want You Back" is also my vocals.
Yeah. Was there anything with I Want You Back that stood out in terms of the musicians playing for it?
No, I love the melody that we came up with. Um, no, it's not nothing, no different than the past than recording with my music producers.
Yeah.
No, nothing different, Toby.
And do you like to stick to the same kind of producers for each song that you do?
No, in fact, I'm glad you asked me about that. I usually work with Kevin Bond, who's a Grammy-winning gospel music producer.
Ooh.
But I brought in another producer that's local. Not he's only about 5 minutes from me. Somebody had told me about him. His name is Spielberg. He
Oh.
has a great studio down here in Augusta, Georgia. So we all collaborated on this. And Kevin Bond, who's located actually in Atlanta, Georgia, he did the background music. He did a very good job. He did background music. And then I got with Spielberg. He's only about 10 minutes away from me. And we did my vocals and my background vocals.
Yeah.
And like I say, I'm glad I met him. So we collaborated on this one.
Do you get the kind of overall say on how the song sounds in the end, or is it maybe 50-50?
Yes, Toby. In fact, when I write my songs, I record them with my melody. In fact, I record them here at my home, and then I introduce it to my producers and let them know that's the way I want it to go. That's the melody. And yes, that's a must for me, Toby, because that's my creation. And that's the answer to that question is yes. I introduce my melody and my lyrics and how I want it to go.
And with the song "I Want You Back," did it eventually end up sounding like how it was in your head, or did it sound different?
Yes, no, it's not no different at all, Toby. In fact, if I was to let you hear my rough draft, which I recorded at my house, I always record it at my house on a rough draft on my tape recorder, and then I process it to a CD.
Yeah.
Sounds exactly the same, except it's not live music, it's not live instrumentation. But yes, it goes. All my songs have been just like that.
Yeah.
Most music producers don't want to change your music because they'll tell you over and over, it's your song. We're going to do it your way. Good music producers, anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to work with anybody who's trying to change my song because you never know where that's going to go, Toby. Someday somebody say, well, I put this in there and I put that in there and I changed that.
Yeah.
So I just try to keep things my way.
Have you ever had a moment when you were recording and producing the song where something wasn't in your original plan but accidentally ended up in the song somehow and you actually quite liked it?
Oh, yes. I've added, just like on Are You Ready for Your Blessing? I added a talk where I'm talking at the end. That wasn't originally in the song, but it's something I came up with maybe a month later after we had started recording it. And it's awesome. I start talking at the end of it. And yes, the answer to your question is yes, Toby. And words change all the time. Sometimes I look back into a song and say, wait a minute, this word should be changed. It would be better if I use this word and things like that. So that's going to always happen, because nobody's perfect. You got to just lay it down the way you feel at first and then go over it and go over it and go over it. And changes will be made.
Absolutely. And how are you finding COVID at the moment? Are you optimistic that we might soon be able to get out again and perform?
Oh, yes. Toby, we all feel that way, but just at least down this way, it just don't seem like it's getting any better.
Yeah.
It's just, but you just got to do the right things, Kobe. Social distancing and masking is a must.
Yeah.
And, but it just seems like it's getting worse down this way. How is it in the UK?
It's kind of okay. We're in full lockdown because our cases were rising again, but we've got the vaccine to give us a little bit of hope, which we're vaccinating loads of people. But then I kind of feel like we're only vaccinating the people in this country. So the only way that's going to work is if we close the borders and don't travel anywhere else where the virus would still be.
Exactly. Because other people will affect your population. Yeah. So.
Exactly.
Yes.
So do you have any more songs that you're working on at the moment that you're going to release after this one?
Yes, I've got one called The Weekend. I'm excited about that. I'm trying to go away from the love a little bit, because I guess that's one of the main things that especially men write about is love. So I decided to do a kind of like not a real party song, but this song is going to be about a man who hardly ever gets out and decides one weekend that he's going to go out and he has a good time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that because I got a good melody to it and got nice vocals to it. So that's what I'm working on now, Kobe. And after that, I got another one lined up called My Favorite Girl.
Ooh.
So I got some things lined up, in the future.
Yeah.
2021, 2021 is going to be a busy year for me, Toby.
Yeah, I can sense it already. So, in the meantime, where are we able to listen to I Want You Back if we're interested in hearing how it sounds?
Of course, Toby, it's going to be released on all music sites March the 17th.
Mm.
And your favorite music site should have it. I mean, I got a good distributor. So whoever you deal with, Spotify, iTunes, even YouTube, you should be able to pull it up and listen to it, as well as all my other songs, Toby.
Yep. And are you on social media as well for us to keep up with your music?
Yes, my main social media I enjoy affiliating with is Facebook. It's
Mm.
Facebook. I do have Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts, but I spend a lot of time on Facebook. I love it. It's rewarding. And, the people that I associate with, it's just awesome, Toby.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you, Toby. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you on reaching out to me.